What's going on, guys? Welcome back into the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how to force trades within Madden in general. Now, this is a method that I only recommend using if your trade has been approved in your franchise, or if you know that you are giving a very fair trade to an opposing team in a single player franchise, and for whatever reason the system just won't accept the trade. We all know that Madden's system can be wonky. Sometimes players are overvalued, sometimes players are undervalued significantly one way or the other. So things can get weird, but there's always a way to work around it. And I wanted to give you guys the tool that I utilize in order to work around these things and force trades to go through that should go through. So for example, in my user league, we have a rule set in place that if the trade panel agrees to the trade and everybody agrees that the trade's fair, we can force that trade through no matter what Madden says in terms of value of that trade. And so here's how you do it. Let's say I wanted to go out and trade for any other player in the league. It could be the best player in the league. So let's say we go for Aaron Donald, perhaps. We're going to go ahead and trade for Aaron Donald. Normally would take a ton to actually trade for this player. If I actually go in and try to trade for him and just put some, I don't know, some random crap on my side, let's say they need a center, so we'll go ahead and add, actually let's go with a position that's a bit more like this, like a 76 overall. We'll just trade a 76 overall in return. If I actually go through and try to put this through, it's going to pop up red. However, what you can do to work around this is you can always take that player, edit that player, and this is what I'm saying we do as commissioners of our league to force these trades through if we agreed that they are realistic and this is the type of a trade that we're looking for. We simply go in, we edit that player to be a punter, and then we edit down that player's, not their contract, we edit down their development to normal, and that player will now be a punter that's a super low overall that's not going to have any trade value. So if I go in and try to trade for this player again and offer back Akeem Hicks, who is the middle linebackers, or sorry, Jordan Hicks, in return, they should accept that trade, and that's going to force that trade through. Now, all you have to do whenever that player is back on your team is you're going to have to edit that player back to what he was in terms of his position and his development. Now, you don't really even have to edit their development. I've just noticed that sometimes, especially if a player is a superstar or an X factor, it will value them a little bit more than a 48 overall punter should be valued. But now I switch him back to right end, for example. I go ahead and switch him back to superstar X factor, and I've now just gotten Aaron Donald onto my team for whatever the trade value was that we agreed was a fair trade value for that player. Now, obviously, using Aaron Donald as an example is a far-fetched example. Generally, in our leagues, you're not seeing a player that's a 90 plus really getting traded anyway because it's so tough to get those players to move. This is for those situations where you just simply have agreed, as a league or as a user, hey, I offered more than enough to get this player. We've offered a fair trade, and, this is going to be able to be utilized in order to force that trade through to make that realistic trade happen. So you can abuse this. I'm not recommending you abuse this. I very rarely highlight things like this that can be abused or can be cheesed, but this is something that can be extremely helpful as a tool, especially for users within, connected franchises that are maybe having trouble getting those realistic trades to go through and working around those things. This is an easy workaround for it. Hopefully it helps you guys in some way. If it does help you guys out, make sure you guys leave a like on the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you guys already use this method, or if there's a method that you like better, make sure you guys leave that down in the comment section. What do you guys like to do, or do you guys just totally shy away from forcing trades through? Because there have been times where I've offered a crazy amount for a player that shouldn't be worth much at all, shouldn't even be worth a third-round pick, and I offer way more than that player's worth just to make sure that I'm being fair to it, and the CPU still won't accept that trade. So that's the type of problem that we run into, and we have to make the workaround for it. So like I said, hopefully this will be useful to you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope you have a good one.